All right. Well, everybody, thank you for joining us on this wonderful afternoon, evening here in Boston and wherever you are in the world. Hopefully, you're enjoying the weather. So, I'm just going to quickly go through these slides with you. The name of, our company is Pareto Innovations. We put together this presentation for you to review. We're going to talk today about the power of delegation. So, how to delegate your way to success like a boss. All right. So, the inspiration for this conversation came out of a conversation that we were having constantly with other clients regarding their needs to improve their systems, their needs to maximize their time restraints, and really just the need to free themselves from the business. So, we kind of put together some ideas and came up with the idea of delegation being one of the most underused and undervalued skills. So, we're going to talk about delegation today. Just a quick little introduction. Pareto Innovations is an industry leader offering the most effective staff solutions in real estate profession across the world. So we help real estate agents throughout the world really learn to run a business and not become salespeople, but really become business people. So that's our mission, that's our goal, that's who we are. And the purpose of this presentation here is to show real estate agents how to really get the most successful agents, or I'm sorry, how it is that the most successful agents in the industry use leverage to grow their business through the application of delegation and simplification. So we want to help you, first of all, delegate your business and more importantly, simplify the business. We work with a lot of agents in this field, and we found that there are some very striking similarities between the people who are very successful and the people who are not as successful, and we're going to talk about those today. So before we get started, just want to give you a couple of key points. If you learn nothing else, take this with you: the Pareto principle. So we are Pareto Innovations. This is the Pareto principle. As known, it's also known as the 20-80-20 rule, the law of few, the vital few, and the principle of the factor of sparsity. So basically, to break this down, the Pareto principle simply states that for many events, roughly 80% of the effects come from 20% of the causes. Many people have heard about this. If you haven't heard about this, I'm just going to give you a little bit of background here. The 80-20 rule comes from an economist named Vilfredo Pareto, who basically, after looking at the wealth disparity, the wealth distribution in Italy, determined that about 80% of the wealth was controlled by about 20% of the population, and likewise 80% of the land was controlled by 20% of the population. And this has become over time a real industry standard, or standard rule of thumb for the disparity and differences of value spread across many different areas of life. So you can think of this as there are, let's say, out of 10 things that you have to do in life, in your business, in your home, let's say there are only two things that actually are going to bring you the results that you are looking for. So the biggest results, the most important things come from a very few set of activities. So let's just talk about a little vocabulary here. What does it really mean? It's really important that we're all on the same page here. So we're going to talk very specifically, and we're going to make sure that we're all on the same page. We're going to start with the word success. It's where we're all aiming, right? We're all looking for success, and we're going to define success as the accomplishment of an aim or a purpose. All right, so that's the accomplishment of an aim or a purpose. That's how we're defining success. So it's not the byproducts of success. We're not defining success by the car you drive, the neighborhood you live in, the house you have. We're defining success by the accomplishment of an aim or purpose. Now, when we become successful, it's important to learn to manage that success. So rather than wait until we're as successful as we want to be to dive into this vocabulary of management, we should consider it now. So, manage, we're going to define manage as the act to conduct business, commercial affairs, etc., to be in charge. So, manage is really how can you say this? It's really the activity within activities. It's how you move from one activity to the next in business, and being in charge of oneself and one's activities, as well as the activities of others. So you see there we have the chart that shows the flow of power within an organization, and and there you can see it's well managed. So now the next word we're going to discuss, we just have a few other words, but these are really important to really start to understand the concepts that we're going to discuss today. Leverage, and you see here we got the scale, the idea leverages to the opportunity, and we're going to define leverage as influence or power used to achieve a desired result. That's how we're going to use leverage. So we have leverage is influence or power used to achieve a desired result. And we have success, which we defined as the accomplishment of an aim. So success is the accomplishment, leverage is the power or influence we use to create success. Without leverage, there is no success. And the last, I'm sorry, second to last one we're going to discuss is delegate. This is what it's all about here, right? How do we leverage towards success? Well, the best way to do that, the most efficient way to do that, is to delegate. And to delegate means to entrust a task or responsibility to another person, typically one who is less senior than oneself. So to delegate is to hand off responsibility to someone else. You want to entrust somebody, and the key word there is entrust someone to handle some tasks. To be able to entrust, you must first be able to trust. So it's very important that we can, as business people, learn to mitigate risk, and in doing so, we can entrust others to take care of some tasks, which free us to do other things that are important to us. Now, this may be a picture of one of you, all of you at times, I'm sure. Real estate agents are very crazy. Business people are very, or salespeople are very, they got a lot going on all the time. So we're going to define real estate simply as a person who sells and rents out buildings and land for clients. All right. And you see this guy here, he's got 6 arms going, 8 arms going, and trying to do a lot of everything at the same time. And, seems like he's doing a lot, and it may be working, but he's doing a lot in a lot of different directions. So what we want to help that agent do is become more of a business owner. Now, a business owner is an individual or entity whose own business entity is an attempt to profit from the successful operations of the company. Now, generally, this person has decision-making abilities and first right to profit. So can you see the difference here? You got, the real estate agent who's got 8 arms, and he's moving in every different direction, and doesn't have time, and barely has time to brush his teeth and drink his coffee. Whereas the business owner has time to plan, to think, to operate successfully, and in a much calmer mindset. So that's where we want to help you guys get. And before we do that, we need to just consider the landscape. So now we have the armored. We're armored with a vocabulary, which naturally gives us ideas and a mindset. Now we're going to use that information to help us get over to what's really important here, which is these facts. So 543,000 businesses get started each month in the United States. Now, that means every month, give or take, 543,000 people, groups of people, teams are coming up with ideas. Now, many of these businesses are definitely independent businesses, much like salespeople. In fact, a good percentage of these businesses are salespeople who earn 1099 income, uh, like real estate agents. Yet 50% of them fail within 5 years. So, it's like the old freshman class discussion where, you come into the industry, you look to your left, look to your right. 5 years from now, one of those people is not going to be there. And it's a chilling factor to think about, but it's a reality that we're living with. And one of the reasons that we can really say is because of the team structure, the fact that people don't have the support that they need. When I say support, I'm not talking about good vibes. I'm not talking about information. What I'm talking about is hands-on support. So now you can see here that after surveying successful business owners, 38% of them say that having a better pool of qualified talent is a major contributor to their success. So 38% of the business owners that were a part of this survey said that 38 that their success can be directly attributed to the level of talent that they had to support them. So there you go. Great teams make great businesses. Now, let's just consider all the things that real estate agents actually have to do on a day-to-day basis. It's very interesting. We were talking with a few agents trying to put together a list of activities that they need to accomplish, and it was mind-boggling. I mean, to look at this from the outside looking in, someone would go a little crazy. I mean, you can see here you got the agent who then has to hold open houses. He has to enter stuff on MLS. She has to, answer questions. She has to set up office time. She has to file, prospect, call clients weekly, call the title companies. She's got to, just a ton of things here. Review. She's got just a ton of things. Send contracts, perform inspections. I mean, it goes on and on. So this is what is expected of an agent, but really that's not an agent's job as much as it is the functions of the business. So we want to take agents out of that centerpiece, replace agent with business, and create sectors for leverage. And if you look here, business owners' tasks, now instead of running around like a mad person, this business person plans, then they develop, then they deploy, then they monitor, and then they analyze. They make a plan, because all this stuff has to get done. I mean, that's without saying, it has to get done. And yet, it's more important for the business owner to plan how it's going to get done, deploy those assignments, develop methods, and then deploy those assignments to the team. And you can see there with deploy, the circle is the business, handing off different tasks to each one of the groups of shapes that is then going to accomplish those tasks while the business owner monitors those tasks and then analyzes the results and makes a new plan to develop and deploy and monitor and analyze. And this is a much, much more efficient, much more conducive way of doing business. In fact, this is the way that all Fortune 500 companies do business. And you have to ask yourself, if you intend to reach that level, what can you do differently? Now, let's just get into the heart real quick, because everything starts with the heart, and we got to understand what the motivation is. Why are we in business? What do we start business for? Well, we did a survey. 86% of people say it's job satisfaction. So they wanted to, in one way or another, feel satisfied with the job that they have. And that's really important. I mean, everybody wants to feel good about what they're doing every day. If you're going to spend 8, 9, 10, 12, 15 hours a day working a business or working for a business, you want to be satisfied at the end of the day. So, job satisfaction is important. 84% of people said success, which we just defined earlier. 83% of people said freedom, and 81% of the people said happiness. But this is the most interesting one. Only 71% of people said money, which means that people would rather be have job satisfaction, be successful in their own right, be free to move, and be happy with their life overall more than they would like money. And I'm sure that many of you guys are like that, and that's why many of us go into business for ourselves. We want to accomplish those things. Now, money is definitely an important factor, but I found it interesting that it wasn't the most important factor. So if money's not the most important factor, then you're looking for an opportunity, it's time to make a change. So you have to be mindful, make mindful ownership in your business. Now, I found a lot of inspiration, a lot of similar principles that our business is built on in these two industry books, and they're written by the gentleman in the middle, Gary Keller, the founder of Keller Williams Realty, Keller Williams International. Really, really huge company, and you can read about them. There's plenty of literature out there about Keller Williams. But what's interesting is that in these two books, he really focuses on the art of creating a business around your real estate sales rather than becoming a salesperson who dies. You want to create a business that lives on and really thrive the way that many of us intend to. So the one thing which I recommend you read both of these books. You can't go wrong. The information is packed in there, and we're going to talk about them a little bit. Now, let's start off with the one thing. From this book, you'll learn that it's important to choose a lane. You got to know your niche. You got to know what's your one thing. Real estate is much like this picture down here. You can have 100,000 different avenues and areas and roads to go, and yet there's only one that really matters, and that's the one that you choose. So when we looking at what's your niche, three simple questions, three simple focus points. What's the service area? What's your client profile? And what's your property type? Focus on those three, and that's going to really help you to narrow your search and choose a lane that's going to be most beneficial for you. And I'm sure you can understand why it's so important to choose a lane. I mean, if you're running here and there, you're looking like the real estate agent. If you have a lane, for example, McDonald's, they sell cheeseburgers. And yes, they've gotten into other areas of business, but when they started their business, they focused on one area of business, and they stuck to that area of business until they were successful. And that's what I'm asking you to do. Choose a lane and stick with that lane, and you'll find success. And then once you do decide on that lane, you got to ask yourself, what's the one thing, like Mr. Keller's book, what's the one thing that I must do to succeed? And this is an interesting question because it's going to force you out of your comfort zone. We're all used to having 1,000 things, and in the book, Mr. Keller talks about the power of doing less to get more. And we've heard it all before, the idiom, less is more, and yet we continue to do more and get less. So we're going to encourage you now to start to think about the one thing you have to do, whether it's usually it's going to be the one thing that you're best at, one thing is your strongest point. So are you good at meeting people face to face? Are you good at doing research and uncovering ideas, or whatever you find most pleasing, or you find that you're most successful at? That's what you want to focus on. So that can be your one thing, but identify your one thing, and you will see a ton of growth in your life. So once you've identified your one thing, we got to go over to the Millionaire Real Estate Agent, and realize that your one thing helps to structure your business's um, motto, your mission, your creed. Now it's time to put that into a business that's going to create that longevity, that success, that job satisfaction, the happiness that all business owners are looking for. So you want to build something that's built to last. And this is a wonderful model here. The Millionaire Real Estate Agent discusses that gives you an idea of how to build your business step by step, person by person, to once and for all have a business that operates with or without you. Who said a real estate agent can't be uh, a multimillionaire without doing any showings? And who said that a real estate agent shouldn't be earning, 6, 7, 8, 9 figures without making or taking any calls? Well, whoever said that, I challenge you to find out how much they're earning, because it's possible. It happens, and the way it happens is very, very strategic. You have to be strategic. And now we're going to focus on just the top 3 layers of that 7 level business plan or business structure, because we understand that these 3 layers are the foundation for the rest. So without level 1, 2, and 3, it's very difficult to move past that. I mean, you have to get this part right. So we want to build from the top down, and you are at the top. You started off at the top. Everybody starts off at the top. You come in the industry and you got to build down. So you're a real estate agent. You're taking your calls. You're making your appointments. You're doing your marketing. You're doing your billing. You're doing your receiving, shipping, everything. You're taking care of everything. And while you're doing everything, you're the real estate agent, like the picture we showed earlier in the slides. And yet you don't have the time to become the business person. So what Mr. Keller suggests and what we live by is the importance of getting to level 2 with a great assistant. Now, this assistant can come in many forms. Many people choose to hire a personal assistant, and obviously that can get pretty costly. But the assistant is invaluable, and so finding a solution for that to take even 10 to 20% of the task off of your plate. I mean, we recommend 50%, but if you can at least get 20% off of your plate, you can really start to use that time, that extra time, to maximize your business. And then the last level of the foundation, what we call the foundation, is to add a marketing administrative and a transaction coordinator. Now, those adding those 3 people with the addition of your assistant is really going to help you take off 60 to 70% of the tasks that you have to do as an independent agent, and you'll really start to feel the joys and pleasures of being in business for yourself. So keep that in mind as we continue. Business is like a big wall. Many people could attribute it to just a huge obstacle, one after the next. And sometimes, you get to an obstacle that you can't climb and you just need a hand. So that's what the assistant is there for, to give you a hand, give you a boost so that you can get over the wall. And in the process, as you're building up your team, they're coming up with you. So keep that in mind. It's about you being a leader as an industry professional. You're leading the way, and to lead, you must first be ready and willing to be followed. So let's continue on here. Now, our goal for you is to help you duplicate yourself, add leverage to your business, and get more done. And as you can see here, there are many areas in your business you can add leverage. You can add leverage in pretty much every business and every area of your business. Some of the ones we've kind of pointed out here are dealing with your calendar, so appointment setting, dealing with cancellations or confirmations. These are all time-consuming tasks. They might not be very difficult, but they are time-consuming, and you have to think every time you're doing one thing, it's time that you're not doing another. So keep that in mind. Be mindful there. And then, next, They can help you with bookkeeping. We got the tie there, setting appointments or dealing with um, well, really anything that deals with a business meeting, scheduling meetings, that kind of thing. Communication, so they can actually communicate back and forth with your clients or other industry professionals on your behalf, so that you can focus on taking those meetings, setting those listing appointments. They can also, move things around for you. Even sometimes, I mean, I've gotten some really good ideas from my assistants that I haven't actually or wouldn't have come up with on my own. So never underestimate the power of another mind. Assistants also can help you really take this business around the clock. We're in the age of information. I can't tell you how many times I've gotten emails at 1 o'clock in the morning. And now let me ask you, how impressive would it be if that person got a response? There have been a couple of times when I've done deals and I've communicated with the person who emailed me at 2 a.m. and I was up for whatever reason. I'm emailing back, and the person, it's 10 o'clock in the morning, they can't get someone on the phone, but yet they email me at 2, 3 in the morning, and they're still getting communication. So that's important. That shows people you're willing to go above and beyond. Now, as a business person, I shouldn't be up at 2, 3 in the morning unless I choose to be. But as a business owner, my business doesn't have to sleep just because I am. So keep that in mind. And there are a ton of other things here that we can help you with, as far as management structures, collecting money, running or handling ordering for your business, email, phones, all types of things. So it's very important to learn to duplicate yourself. Look at what you do and figure out how you can get someone else to do it for you, so that you can do what you have to do, what you want to do, what is most important for you and your business. So, sorry here. So, we, uh, we talked a lot about now the business world, the difference between an agent and a business owner. We talked about what success means and why many of us come into this business. Real estate, it's a very lucrative business for many people, and yet for more people, it's not. We saw that 50% of people drop out of business every 5 years, which means 200 and some odd thousand people are getting out of business every year, every month, and really, I'm sure many real estate agents just can't stay in the business. They can't afford to. They can't get a leg up. And those who have the leg up, they got to figure out a way to get the other leg up and start running. So we've designed solutions, and just wanted to review here. So we did decide that it's time for agents to become owners and not agents anymore, to think past the agent life into the business owner life. You got to choose your own lane, choose the lane that your business is going to serve. Are you going to sell the burgers? Are you going to sell pizza? Are you going to be the guy who specializes in foreign cars? Or are you going to be the general mechanic? What's your lane, and how are you going to stick to it? And then narrow your personal activities. What is it within that lane that you are best at and that you must do, and then leverage everything else out. Nothing else needs to be done by you. Now, if you're like me, when you get to this point of the presentation, you're wondering, okay, it sounds good, but I can't afford to add a assistant right now. I can't afford to do all these things. And we found that so many people are in need of a reliable team to teach them, to help them reach the next level, that we've created a platform for sales support. With our expertise, we can provide many solutions to many issues that many people have, and our goal is to help the industry. So we're not looking for small time thing. This isn't a small thing, but we're really looking to improve the industry, because there's so much opportunity here. We specialize in low cost, effective support for real estate agents. And what that means is we've been able to identify over working with agents for some time now that many people need the same type of support. So, for example, you might have a gym coach or a coach in, uh, not a coach, I'm sorry, a personal trainer. Now, you have a personal trainer who charges you $100 an hour to run you up and down the stairs and work you out. And for some people, they can afford that, but many people can't afford that. But what they can afford is a $20 DVD that they can put in, and what that does for them is give them the motivation they need, the support that they need to get to the next level. And that's what we've been providing here at Pareto Innovations for our customers. We've been providing cost effective solutions. And, really, before you consider everything, before you consider anything, weigh the options. What else is there? Now, like we mentioned, you can go learn from others. You can watch somebody's mistakes, but the thing about watching others is if they're not showing you, if you're not a part of the team, then you're not seeing everything that you need to see, and you're on the outside looking in, and we all know how that goes. So, and the other part is you already know what you need to do. I mean, you got in this business for a reason. You believed in yourself. You got in this business. You're probably doing pretty well for yourself if you're on this call. So I imagine that since you're doing well, you already know what to do. You just need to do it and do more of it and find a way to do more of what it is that actually makes you money. So learning from others is one strategy, not a very good one at this point for many of you. So time management seminars, they're great. They get you juiced up. They get you feeling good. But the key is the key to productivity is task management, not time management. So we want to help you manage the tasks. You can manage your time. I'm sure you can wake up. We're not talking 6, 7 year olds. If you can't wake up on time, that's a whole nother seminar, another talk, another service. But for us, for people who are serious about their business and just need to manage their tasks, that's what we're here to help you do. So you got a checklist every day. Now send 8 of those checks to us. You take the 2 that matter the most, and we'll handle this together. Now you can also hire a personal assistant, and we actually strongly recommend, if you can afford to do so, do it. The only problem for many industry professionals is that in order to get to the point to hire a professional assistant, a personal assistant, they need help or they need money, one or the other. So rather than go and make a large investment or of time and money, because here in Boston, minimum for a personal assistant is going to be 50 grand. Got 20,000 here. We do some presentations in the Midwest and around Arkansas. I can get a little less, but over here in the East Coast, 45, 50,000 minimum. And if you want someone really good, 65, 75. I know many personal assistants that make well north of 100 grand, but they're worth it at that. They understand the business, but for many people, that's not a practical solution. So while you want to consider it, consider all the options. Now, the last one is you can find apps to improve the workflow that you're going through. So you can improve your workflow, you can improve your systems. The only problem with apps that I find, I love apps. I got a ton of apps on my phone and a ton of apps on my computer. The only problem with apps that I found is that it's like they create another job for you. They create more tasks because now it's another place to input more data. It's another alarm to set. It's another thing to open and check off. So what you don't want to do to get out of tasks is create more tasks. It just doesn't make sense. So you've tried it all. I'm sure you saw other people around the office or in the industry. I'm sure you went to seminars. I'm sure you've considered hiring a personal agent if you haven't. And I'm sure you've downloaded plenty of apps to fill up that phone memory. And now it's time to try something different. Now, this is how we work, okay? Very simple. We give you a team of assistant executives. And we call them that because we're very invested in the health and growth of your business. So uh, we look at first doing a business evaluation, and this is where we learn about your business process. So we do a lot more listening and a lot less talking, a lot of note taking, and we just learn about your business. And it's pretty important to know exactly what's important to you in your business, and what we can help you with. So the next step is to identify the pain. So once we've talked about your business, see how things are going, see how things have been, we identify the pain and really figure out what tasks you're doing that are slowing you down, and provide leverage solutions for you. The third part is to stop the bleeding. So now we empower you to take control of your time, and that's really the beauty of our system. I mean, more people have more time for more things that they want to do than ever before because we've taken those tasks away from them, and they don't wake up every morning thinking, "Oh man, I got to do this and that and this and that." They think, "I got to do this, and then I could do whatever I want to do." And that's the beauty of Pareto Innovations. That's what we've come to do. So you do the math. I mean, really, again, you got to bear with me on these numbers. We do these presentations all over the country, but just a simple mathematical equation. If we were to help you to get 12 additional transactions a year, so one extra transaction a month from the services that we provide, and you were to make $2,000 per transaction. Now I know the commission out here in the East Coast is probably somewhere around, for sales, somewhere around 10, 15,000, and even for rentals is 2, 3, 4, 5,000. So I know this is a little low, but you can do the math and you can see it's an extra $24,000 a year. Now, we know what this industry is capable of, and we follow the numbers, we follow the trends. Now, we have to ask, can you really afford not to add Pareto to your business? And that's a serious question. I mean, are you making so much money that you don't need an extra 24,000? I mean, if that's the case, eh, more power to you. I'll send you my bank account number, and you can drop me a couple of bucks. I'd appreciate it. No, uh, we got a game plan here. We're not just willy nilly. Our system is very secure, very straightforward, and very efficient. First part of the system, we discuss your aspirations. So we kind of talked about that already. Want to know exactly where you're going. Want to know exactly what's important to you. We want to know your one thing. And then we create a task-centered action plan, a plan that is based around action that we can take, that you can take, so that we can get you to that aspiration. Also, one of the tasks that we will do, where we take on for you immediately, is we accept and qualify your inbound leads. Now, this is an amazing task that we have here for you because, most people, the problem with taking calls or taking leads is that you have to be in the environment to actually take the call. For one, you have to have the time to take the call, and you have to have the patience to take the calls if you're marketing properly. If you're getting a lot of leads from your marketing, if you're generating a lot of interest from the marketing that you're doing, then you really got to have patience to go through each lead, qualify them to the standards. So imagine going through a day without having to take any inbound calls from leads, and at the end of the day or at the end of a phone call, receiving an email that says this person is prepared, ready, and meets all the qualifications. Now, how much would that improve your business? How quickly can you turn that into some cash every day? And you got to ask yourself, the next step is to manage your calendar. So not only will we take the calls from your leads, inbound leads, not only will we qualify them, but if they are qualified, we can manage your calendar and actually input appointments for those leads. So now you've got a system that is taking off two big chunks of time out of your life. So you're freeing up a lot of time in your calendar, and we're filling that free time with qualified applicants, qualified leads, qualified people to actually do business with. and then we'll help you discover new leads. So we have a team here that is, one of the world's greatest outbound callers, lead discoverers. We don't call them lead generators because it's your job to generate the lead. It's our job to find them. So we'll find them. You make it into some money. Uh, we understand that there are things that you do in your business that define you as a business person, that define your services, and we respect that. So we're going to find the opportunities for you. We're going to give you the opportunities in a nice package, and all you have to do is close them. And then we'll also manage your back office. So again, very big time consuming thing. Back office includes anything from posting online to entering data in the MLS to updating databases to handling paperwork, making sure that uh, paperwork is digitally signed, or all types of things. So anything that is dealing with back office, we can handle it for you as well. And now you can see with your inbound calls coming, your phone calls being answered, your leads coming in to you, and then on top of that, your back office is discovered. That leaves you a whole lot of time to go knock on doors, to find new opportunities, to reach out to your database and build relationships, and really start to really build relationships versus constantly in a search for new relationships, because leads don't always turn into referrals instantly, and yet we still need to keep our businesses going. So there we are. Now, this is our guarantee. You are covered. Now, build your funnel. That's your job. We want to help you build your funnel. The industry is, sales in general is all about how many people you can get in and pushing them through the funnel to get a few out. So we want to help you build your funnel. We want to help you spend more time building your funnel and let us work on filtering out the best leads for you based on your criteria. So again, qualifying, qualifying, qualifying. You find people that might be right. We'll find out if they're good enough, and we'll help you out. Second thing here we are covered with is you can select the channels. Now, what we mean by that is from phone support to email and social media support, we got you covered. You can choose one, you can choose all. We can help you in various different ways because we know this business is vertical and horizontal, and it's very difficult to cover all on your own. So phone support, email support, social media management, we're prepared to help you every step of the way. Spread the word. So we talked about lead discovery. Professionals have skills and determination to increase your market share, and that's our goal. We want more people in your market to know you than anyone else, and you never have to worry about any issues between multiple agents using our service because we have individual teams for each agent. So you get your crew that's working for you, independent of our company, independent of any influence that any other agent may have. We are very strict in our policies, and we're spreading the word. You sign up with us, you get a team, they're working for you to help you discover new leads. And then lastly, we want to convert customers. So our goal is to help you convert customers. Ultimately, that's what matters. We can take all the phone calls, we can do all this, and we can do all that, but if you're not converting the customers, there's not really much we can do about that. So we want to line them up, and we want to help you knock them down. So we have a ton of support here about closing techniques and other aspects of sales to help you really maximize this service. Now, we have a ton of package options, and obviously, when you get into business like this, it seems as if it's going to be very expensive. It's really not. Again, our goal is to improve the industry, the entire industry. And the way we're going to do that is by providing very cost-effective solutions to big, big problems. Now, the personal contact center is a really great way for you to get started with our business. It's $49 a month. That gives you 7 days a week of phone calls, incoming phone calls. We take the leads, we qualify the leads, we set appointments, and then we'll call back to confirm the appointments. Now you get a dedicated phone line. Again, I told you get your own team. It's not one mass number that they're calling in, but you're getting a phone line in your town, in your area. You're getting a customized greeting that's going to say something like, "Thank you for calling so and so, Realtor John. How can I help you?" Whatever you come up with. You're also going to get an instant contact detail delivery. So what that means is instantly, once we get a phone call that comes in and find out the person's qualified based on the standards that you set out, we're going to set them up. We're going to set an appointment for them, and then we're going to send you the details immediately. So you can have those details, decide to call them and introduce yourself ahead of time, ahead of the appointment. We're going to let you know about the appointment time, date, location. We're going to schedule everything for you and then confirm it all with you, and then do a confirmation call to the client a day or so before to make sure that that appointment's still on, so you don't waste any time going to appointments that aren't going to actually happen. And then also we provide you with a weekly calling report, which is a really handy tool. You can see everybody that's called in. You can review those calls and have a list of everyone who contacted you each week. We can put that into a CSV spreadsheet file, send that to you so you can upload it directly to your database. And then obviously the best part of this is you can have unlimited users. So the unlimited users part is really, really important for many businesses. I mean, it's $49. You can have as many agents in your team, as many agents in your office as you'd like, and upgrade anytime. There are call limits, so you can have, I think the $49 includes 100 inbound calls. We go up to unlimited inbound calls for something around 99, 109, something in that regard. So if you're interested in that, I'd encourage you, shoot us an email, check out the website, and or feel free to give me a call directly, and I'll give you all my contact information at the end. And also, quickly, two other packages that we have available: lead discovery, back office, both $6 an hour, lowest in the industry. The reason why they're so low is because we're at this point able to do such high volume, and it's really important, that agents understand the only way that the system can continue to operate effectively is by maintaining the volume. So $6 an hour. We've got teams out there burning phone calls, getting the information, finding the leads, and getting it done. Back office, same thing, managing emails, managing customer support, online postings, social media, database, everything you can think of and more. Uh, we also have staff writers for blogging and that kind of stuff. So we have really, really easily customizable solutions. I encourage you all now, get started today. Make the difference in your life. Make the difference in your business. For a limited time, we're offering a free trial. All you have to do is visit www.paretoinnovations.com. Choose your package. It's going to look something like this. Go down there, choose the package. Once you click subscribe or buy, it's going to open up the page, and you'll see you've been awarded your free trial, which is unheard of. So go ahead, get started now. I want to thank you guys for taking the time to watch and listen and participate in this discussion. I am very glad that there are going to be more successful agents, and I'm hoping that we can get this industry to be human dominated again, and not so much a victim of technology, but rather a partner to technology. So again, thanks again. I wanted to share one last thing with you. We've got our new commercial out, and it's very short but very cute. So take a look and give it a go.
1. Appointment setting. 2. Data entry. 3. Call handling services. 4. Email management. Stop wasting your valuable time. Hire us to do it for you. If you're unsure, we will offer you a free information session. Happy parent, happy baby. Delegating work will reduce your stress levels. Go. Spend time with your loved ones. Strike items off your bucket list. Focus on what you do best. Pareto will do the rest. Visit us at www.paretoinnovations.com and sign up for your free trial today.
Well, guys, again, I wanted to thank you all for taking the time to engage with us. Hopefully, you've learned and taken away something that was important and it's going to be useful in your business. Again, I do encourage you guys, go sign up now, www.paretoinnovations.com. It's going to be the best thing you do today and probably the best thing you do in your business. So, with that, I'm going to sign off and thank you again. Be in touch. Bye bye.